we got the illustrious guest today. Should we allow him to choose which one he's gonna? We start with.
What we want to start with? Where you want to go with this?
So we got Shadow in Prisoners.
Yeah, okay, that's a nice.
That's a
nice one to start with.
That's a good one. That's a good one
to start with.
Prisoners. It's 2013.
Yeah, Prisoners 2013.
Okay.
We got Hugh Jackman in that.
Yeah.
Viola Davis. Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah.
A lot of my faves, to be fair.
Howard.
A lot of my
When I saw
faves.
Terrence Howard, I was like, rare.
Do you know what was funny as well? I had literally just watched the first Big Mama's House, where he is like the husband for Nero.
Wait.
And I was watching it with my son, and he was like, and I was like,
And that's around the same time-ish, no?
Maybe roughly.
Nah,
but
it's Big Mama's House a bit earlier. Big Mama's House is going to be in the noughties.
the funny part,
like
know.
03 or 04, something like that.
it was, I don't know, some of it. But the funny part was is that in that one, in Big Mama's House, he's kind of like a murderer, like a chest tie, this, that. And in this one, man's like,
that's what I'm saying.
glasses,
I was like,
this, that, where, Terry, what you doing?
You know when
What you doing there, mate?
That was early Terrence. That was early Terrence when he was trying to find that versatility and not be stereotyped. And then afterwards he's like, you know what, fuck this. I'm just going to be who I am.
You know, like this movie has the type of characters that you don't even need to mention what films they've been in. You just say
that's
their
what I'm
name.
saying. They're a lot of my faves.
Yeah.
They're a lot of my faves.
I will give a little shout out to, Paul Dano. So he plays the guy, the kind of simple guy with the glasses.
Oh, yes.
Paul Dano.
Yes,
so he's in like, There Will Be Blood, and I think he was in 12 Years a Slave as well. I think he was in that as well. The one thing I say about him, he's really good at making you hate him, kind of thing. Like he's really good at got that face. You just want to punch him. You don't even say nothing.
He's got that look. Makes you frustrated.
No, he is. And the thing is, you don't like you hate him not because he's coming out as his personality is the bad guy personality. It's actually because of other stuff he does.
Yeah,
it's almost like he's weedy and he doesn't look like he cleans his bum properly, kind of guy. He pulls it off well. It's like,
he looks like he goes dogging just to watch.
Do you know what I mean?
Don't do that.
Real seedy fella.
Real seedy
fella.
fella.
He's proper seedy. And he pulls it off so well that you're like, are you acting or?
Nah, it's true. Prisoners, this one was directed by Denis Villeneuve, I think. You might not have heard the name, but he's out there. He's done Sicario. Blade Runner 2049 as well. There's a couple others, but those are the two that I know top that will let a man know like where he's at in this thing. You get what I'm saying? So basically, what we do on this show, is we read out the synopsis of the film we're reviewing.
Right.
That's calm. That's calm though, yeah? That's calm.
Light work.
However, we read the synopsis in the tone of the movie.
Right.
So you got to kind of sell the movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
As if
you can't go on like you don't like it yet.
No. You just read the synopsis
in the
tone of the movie.
How you feel the movie.
Like
what's supposed
thriller,
to be.
Crime, drama, mystery, thriller. So that's how it is. And we offer that opportunity to the guest.
I'm doing it. Let's do it.
For you to express yourself and how
I'm about to over-express.
Oh, okay. I'm excited today. I'm not gonna lie. I'm excited today. I like the energy.
What's that? Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, is this the whole synopsis?
Yeah.
This is what I'm talking about. Do you know what? All right.
Ooh, child.
I'm going to get real close to the mic here. Hold on. I'll be right here. Wait.
Everyone's like, yeah, do this. So when it gets down to wait a minute. Let me catch my breath.
When Keller Dover's daughter and her friend go missing, he takes matters into his own hands as the police pursue multiple leads and the pressure mounts.
All right.
No, you know what? I like that because, like, he got the body involved.
Yeah.
It was like he was doing a voiceover for an animation.
That was good.
I like that. I like
all
that.
you need is like the elephants in a circle for BBC. You know, like elephants.
Swimming in a circle. Say no.
But I really think they should have had a longer synopsis for that, though. That's a very short.
If you had to do your own synopsis, how would you?
What would I have said about it?
What would you have said about? How do you explain?
They didn't even use the star-studded. You put star-studded, and people want to go and watch the movie. In the synopsis,
you can't really put that in the synopsis, though. That would be
where would
more
you put that? The trailer.
Or the
description, like the plot. That would be that wouldn't be the plot.
No.
What would that be in?
That's like when the Guardian gives it, and it's like a review.
It's just like this synopsis makes it feel like it's like.
The synopsis is only supposed to give you like a short thing of what the film's about, though. It's not really supposed to tell you.
IMDb synopsis, I've seen them like a paragraph where you're just given just enough meat
I
to
feel
say.
like it depends on how they're trying to, because I don't think they want to give too. Well, you know what? Let's get into it.
What do you think of it?
Okay, so I hated that film. Like I just hated it. I feel like the film, it sold me more than it gave me.
Okay.
It sold when I look up and I was like, "Ooh, Hugh Jackman, Wolverine," and he had a Wolverine moment in it. If you check for it,
with the hammer.
Tell me around. He had a Wolverine moment in there.
Yeah.
Viola Davis, Terrence Howard, and I'm like, you are star-studding this whole film for me. But then the film doesn't do what these actors and the characters can do. Like, it almost felt like it does what it says on the tin. Somebody got kidnapped, we found out where they are. That's all it did. Like, there was every build kind of, it was anticlimactic. So when, Hugh Jackman really like starts to get a bit dark, he doesn't go all the way dark.
Yeah.
And then he doesn't even have like a resolution. It's not like he goes light on it. It's not like he like, cool. So now I not only understand where he's coming from, but he's seen the light in some way. He's had resolution in his character. It's just he goes dark and then he just stops over there. That's it. Everything just has that kind of, and then just stops. Why was Viola Davis in the movie? Anyone?
Yeah, but this
the thing
before her time.
That's what I'm about to say.
Before
her time. No,
this was before How to Get Away with Murder, which really excelled her.
I'll give that.
Right about that vibe, because Viola Davis was in I can't remember. There was another film she was in where she had a really, really small role.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, fuck, like what's going on here? But then do you know what it was? It was Doubt. Have you seen Doubt with Philip Seymour Hoffman? I
haven't seen that. No.
Doubt. He's a priest, and there's a conflict between whether or not he touched up a kid or not. She has a really small role in that, and I was like, "Raw, like how are they just gonna deal with her?" But this was a long time before she.
But even then, I'm like, for the role that she had, it's almost like the role, like she didn't matter.
She didn't.
And if she didn't.
So then I'm like, why were you there? Even what she did, even what her role was, it was almost like that could have been a single father. Yeah. Terrence Howard could have been a single father, or she could have been a single mother. Yeah. I'm giving all the lines to one parent, and it would have had its own dynamic as a family. But it just didn't. It's like there was no point. There was so many things in that film that had no point, bro. So many things in that film. I was like, why? For example, why did he? Let me give one small spoiler.
Go on.
Why did he drive into the tree? What has that got to do with anything else in the film? Man drove into a tree. It had nothing to do with sometimes an accident happens. Like I saw in Desperate Housewives recently, somebody drove into the back of a car. The car bonnet opened because it got smashed into. Dead body inside. There's a point why she drove into the back. So everything has a point. It felt like there was no point why he drove into the tree.
I feel like the reason he drove into the trees because he was kind of simple and he was trying to get away and he ended up driving into the tree like a simple person would.
Is there any consequence to it?
Because he got arrested.
So he could have got arrested in any way, shape or form, but the way he got arrested was that he drove into a tree. That's what I'm saying. It didn't matter. Like they could have just held the gun to the window and he put his hands out the window and now he's arrested. But instead, they added another 2 minutes so this guy could drive into a tree. So they spent money on a budget to mash up the RV so he could drive into a tree.
Dramatic effect.
No storyline consequence though.
Listen,
it doesn't make sense.
Go on, you go.
I totally agree with you, bro.
Thank you. This is what I'm saying.
This film...
If you play devil's advocate, bro.
This film literally kind of started so well. There was like so much potential. Like the start was really good. And it was like, okay, boom, boom, boom. RV's there, gone missing. Ooh, mystery, spooky. And then it got to the middle and it couldn't move from the middle. It was stuck. The film was stuck. Literally stuck in gear. Like it wouldn't move. You get me? And then all the cliche bits started to come out when the dead guy, the body that's been there.
It was
like, bro, that almost gave away most of the film, if I'm honest. Like from there, I was able to...
Yeah.
And it was like... And then they tried to throw... You know what? One bit that confused me though, is I don't understand the connect. I didn't really get the connection between the two suspects.
So one of them...
That's true. Me as well, you know.
I didn't really get the connection.
I felt like I had to watch it a second time to figure that out, but I was like, I'm not doing that,
I'm not,
I'm not doing that.
So the one that was getting tortured was the boy that went missing.
Yeah.
And the other one was the actual guy that they thought that guy was. Like, he's the son
So
of
what was the connection though? What was like, and that was another thing, is like my man said, you lot just fully sold me bullshit. Because like, let's keep it 100. The whole reason was...
That film could have been an episode.
Bro.
It could have been like a short story in something else.
The whole reason they was the way they was is because they were trying to throw you off, and they should have had some sort of connection. So the fact that there wasn't, it was like, well, why? How? This is just... This
You're
was
gonna
silly.
defend
This
it. Are
was
you really
silly.
going to play devil's advocate? We could just really agree
He's
on
like
this.
this though. He's like this.
Serious?
He's like this.
Is this what you're like, bro?
He's like this. Bro.
Because
He's a different guy, bro.
Here's the thing, bro. If you're going to just play devil's advocate, don't.
But no, let him cut, because he has to come up with justifiable reasons as to why.
But there is no justifiable reason.
Let's see, because he likes to dig, and it's like,
Can I speak?
Please.
No, go on, King.
At the start of this movie, I really thought it was sick because it built it up kind of well.
Yeah.
I like movies that start pretty quick. So we was there, that happened, girl goes missing, boom, we're in the movie. You get what I'm saying? I like that. I'm not a massive fan of Jake Gyllenhaal either.
Are you not?
Not a massive fan of him.
See,
I'm not a massive fan.
Even
but he
Source
didn't
Code.
impress me in this.
Even Source Code.
I'm not a Source Code was one of his better movies.
Nightcrawler.
It was okay. It was okay. I thought it was okay.
What's that? You didn't like Southpaw?
Southpaw's an okay movie. It's not like... It's
No, but you don't like Jake.
Yeah, I didn't really...
Like
not
he hasn't really
He
shone yet.
hasn't sold you.
He hasn't shone yet.
Do you know what? Do you know where I put him with? I put him next to like Ryan Gosling in the same as kind of like...
I can't disagree.
He hasn't...
I can't disagree, bro.
You know what? I don't fuck with Ryan, man.
But this
He hasn't done... I don't know why he's Ryan Gosling.
That's his point.
Yeah, like,
that's his point.
I don't feel like Jake's a Ryan though. They put Ryan on a fucking pedestal.
That's where Jake Gyllenhaal is for me now. He's alongside that where it's just like, if he's in a movie, I'll be like, oh, okay, it's Jake.
But he still ain't got
But
the
he
one
ain't
for
got
you.
me.
You need another name.
Yeah, so Jake Gyllenhaal's in it, and
He had a Hugh Jackman with him.
I don't know what type of character Jake was trying to portray in this. I don't know, like, did he have some sort of like mental thing because he's used to this? Like, was there something? I don't know, but okay, I'm not a big fan of Jake Gyllenhaal. Viola Davis, obviously, she's an outstanding actress.
Yeah,
I agree with you in the sense that she didn't need to. She or Terrence didn't. It was a kind of. It seemed like they were just adding names. Do you know what I'm saying?
But it's interesting because they weren't names. So you know what? I'll shoot the film some bell because it's almost like they were bringing in. They were almost up and coming at the time.
I didn't realize that. That's a key. That's a key
element in terms of like, okay, so you've got some things under your belt. You hear me?
We get to the part where Hugh Jackman turns dark, as you said. Yeah, we get to that part, and I'm like, okay, cool, because I'm trying to imagine if my child was this, that, blah, 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 and I'd probably be the same. You know what I'm saying? I'd probably be similar if I assume that this is the main suspect and he's been like that. Do you get what I'm saying? I'd probably be the same. Hugh Jackman's portrayal in this was fantastic for me. I think he nailed a dad who...
Well, he carried the film, to be fair.
I think he nailed a dad's daughter had been taken and he now feels hopeless. That's what I got from that. Do you know what I'm saying? The third half of this movie, it did slide. It became to a point where it was just like, okay, let's throw that in. Let's throw that in. Okay, shit, we did that before, so we have to kind of do this so that it kind of makes sense that we did that, etc., etc. Even with the snakes thing, it was just a bit like,
what was the snakes for?
It was like,
you know what pissed me off was the way that they were coming out. I remember just leaving it and then being surprised when they were I was like, bro, are we being retarded here?
The bit that you mentioned, the bit that you mentioned with the dead guy and you found out, etc., what was going on and this, that, and the mazes and stuff was like, ugh. However,
I still don't understand the mazes.
So, all right, wait.
Still don't understand the mazes.
So, if he had no connection to the guy,
Who didn't have no connection?
The one that crashed.
The first one. Yeah.
If he didn't have no connection, what was the mazes about?
He does have the connection because they napped him. They napped that youth from the mum.
So he's the one that was kidnapped from way back.
He was the one that was kidnapped from way back.
That's interesting. I wish they had written that more in a way that makes more sense.
But in the movie, it even
says
he does at the end has been returned back.
I know, but it still wasn't like.
But can you imagine? Both of us didn't get it.
Yeah, it still wasn't clear because
don't do that. Don't do that.
That's not on me.
I don't want that.
That's not on me. Because I feel like it's more. I feel like it's more of an assumption than
it's not an assumption because they literally say what's his name is returned back to his mother.
But they don't explain who the other guy is though.
The other guy is their original son, the one that he's gone missing, the original son. Then they've napped my man and put him as that you. Because remember, they say, he had a thing with snakes and this, that. That's why he turned up.
I remember that.
So that youth's gone missing.
Yeah, it wasn't clear.
But this is what I'm saying. Even with that,
it wasn't
that
clear.
could be written in a way that makes you go, ruh.
Yeah. Okay, that's what it was. There was no like.
Yeah, no.
Oh, okay.
Right. You're just like, okay.
Like,
all right. Let me finish.
If you say so.
Let me finish. The third part of this movie did slide, and like I said, they was trying to. It seemed like they was chasing their tail to try and be like, okay, yeah, we did that, etc., etc. However, as a movie, I still think it's a great movie. I still think it's good.
What?
I still think it's good.
I'm gonna need to know why.
The first part of this movie and up until the middle part is fantastic for me. I really enjoyed it.
So it got stuck in the middle. So how was it great?
Hugh Jackman's portrayal of the character was sensational.
He carried the film.
Was sensational for me.
Give me three.
Can I?
Sorry, King.
Can I speak?
Sorry, King.
Let me land.
Can I speak? Although I'm not a big fan of Jake Gyllenhaal, I did like the kind of dynamic that he had with Hugh Jackman, especially when they were sitting in the car and when he was chasing him at the end, when he was like, "I'm gonna get you, you fucker," kind of thing. Do you remember that bit at the end? Yeah. I did like that type of dynamic. I also like the dynamic that he had with the police, with his chief
the sergeant,
or whatever. I like that dynamic.
Okay.
But as I said, realistic? It's only realistic because of the sort of town they was in. But those are the kind of towns where you can boy off everyone because if you're the main guy that normally solves cases.
What I will say about this movie,
that's your 3 points that justify making this a great film.
There must be another 2 or 3.
I think it's a great movie. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I would definitely watch it again. I would watch it again.
You're playing devil's advocate.
But I've watched it like 3 or 4 times already.
You're playing devil's advocate.
You're being silly, and that's probably why he knows.
He's playing devil's advocate
with the bit because he's watched it 3 or 4 times. You weren't getting that from the first time. But anyway, bro, how can it be? Now you're shitting on other films that we reviewed because how can it be a great film? And it was only great. It was only good for half of the film. It got stuck in the middle.
The only thing that I would say was really poor in this was that the ending, like the actual ending, where
everything came together.
Do you know what that's called?
What? Anticlimactic?
No. Hold on, wait. I got this. The denouement. A denouement. Gems.
I like the pride in both your faces.
The denouement. Episode 5.
That denouement did nothing for me.
So that was terrible. That part was like definitely a meh.
Can I tell you what this is like? This is like when you have your cereal, right? You put the let's say I'm going to use Frosties as an example.
Yeah.
You put your Frosties in the bowl. You pour the right amount of milk. Now the Frosties in the right bowl. You got your favorite spoon, and it's like the right amount of milk just below the level of the line, so it doesn't drown them. And then also you don't mix it up. You just eat the
so it's crunchy,
right? So, and then your girl comes and stirs it and eats the spoon and says, "Eat the rest." That's the first thing that she messes up. And then what happens is that you realize because she's eaten so much Frosties when she took some of your food.
All you got now
is a whole bunch of milk. Yeah. But you finished all of the milk. So now you got gas, right? So you got gas and you got that in your bowels, right? For the rest of the day. Will you still say that was a good breakfast?
Is the milk frosty tasting?
No.
But it must be if it was.
No, but it's not somehow. Somehow it should.
How?
Everything pointed. How? It's because you ate it so fast because you had to eat it before it got really soggy, right? So that's how. But now, do you still call this a good breakfast? Because you're calling this a good film.
He said a great breakfast.
He said a great breakfast.
That's what I mean. I might let you slide for a good breakfast.
Are you lining up next to cornmeal,
I think
porridge and the plantain breakfast you had.
What number would you give this movie?
4 at most.
What would you give it?
I would have. It's average. I would have gave it like a 5, 5.5.
You're talking about the 8s and the 9s right now.
I would give it about 7.
But you're giving it a 5 because you're sitting here saying, right, when it got to midway, it was good and then it slid.
The thing is, like, there's movies out there that are really good that don't nail beginning, middle, and end. Like, they don't. That's why it doesn't make it. I'm not saying it nailed everything, but it nailed enough for me. Whoa. It nailed enough. And especially, and don't get me wrong, like I said, it could definitely have been made far better. Far better.
Okay, how do you think it could have been made far better? I think that's a key thing to understand.
I think,
your perspective.
like I said, the ending part, I think they should have landed that better. Yeah, I will agree. I'm not going to sit here and say I found out that bit about the kids and the connection on the first one because I didn't. I'll be honest. The only time I found it out was this last time. Was this last time?
That was not clear.
When I watched it this time, I was like, oh.
The realness is, I wanted to rewind it. And I just didn't care about this. I just didn't care.
So the ending, the actual ending, I would definitely feel like they could have done better because it kind of feel like they was running out of maybe money kind of thing. It's like they had used what they had used on the other bit, and then they had some for snakes. And then they used that on 16.
I don't think it was in the money. I think it was in the writing.
Yeah, just run out of juice.
I don't think they wrote the end well. I don't think
the ending. Like I've said, the ending wasn't.
They spent too much time on the beginning and how we would introduce this film into where it was. I would really like to know behind the scenes on this film and just watch how they did the whole thing.
Sorry, another thing that I liked as well is the whole dynamic when he had the guy in his place.
I
like that kind of, and especially with
the whole film could have been around
Terrence as well.
Yeah,
one thing I wanted to ask you guys,
a bit more dark with it.
Right. One thing I wanted to ask you guys here: if you're Terrence, on the initial part, the first part, when he speaks to you, and you're Terrence, what are you doing? Are you going along with it, or are you not going along with it?
To be fair, I'm going along with it. I don't understand why Terrence wasn't.
I don't understand why he was so like
right. But that's what I'm saying. They didn't write this well. They didn't even give Terrence a real like a driving force.
Yeah, he had.
Can you understand the driving force? Because he's just relaxed about everything. Oh, she's lost.
And when he finally got the daughter back, it was like there was no urgency to him or whatever. It was like he was pretty much irrelevant, and that's what almost made Viola Davis' character a bit more disappointing because I thought she would be
the one who then
she'll
notice that he's not.
So she's not on it. So when she comes in now, it's like bossy.
Right. Even Hugh Jackman's wife had something. She went all the way depressed. This woman was lying down. One thing I did like, I really liked that it was just. I didn't like him writing it down. But I liked when she said about, I was just asleep and then I came, someone was in the house and the window was open and he wrote window open. Yeah. And I was like, out of all the information she gave you, you wrote down window open. So now me as a viewer knows window open is going to come back later on, right? Where I don't think that would be the piece of information that he'd write down as I need to write this down.
The thing with, look.
But I did like how that tied in later.
The reason, do you know why he wrote that down?
No, of course I know why he wrote it down.
Because she said, are you not going to write this down? That's the only reason he wrote it down. He didn't write it down because it was pertinent information. It was because
this what happens.
He was like, she was talking, in his eyes, she's talking nonsense. She ain't slept for this day. Her daughter's been just angry. So he didn't even have his thing out. It was only when she said, and then now the window's open. And then she looked at him and said, well, you're not going to write this down. And then he was like, all right, cool.
Yeah, but then,
window open.
But this is what I'm saying.
But then what he's saying,
go back into the
one thing you
mind.
do write down is the one bit that's going to tie in.
This is what I'm saying. The thing is, it's weird. Like sometimes you watch films and you can basically look at what the writer and the director and the DOP is thinking when they're making this part happen. And I don't like that. I don't like seeing behind the wall. I like films where you don't see behind the wall. No matter how incredulous the whole thing is, no matter how wild this concept is, you don't see. Fight Club, you do not see behind the wall.
And that's why the ending is disappointing because
you're seeing
at that time when you realize it's such and such, you should be like, oh.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, so that's another. like I said, I wasn't a fan of the ending. I'm not gonna disagree with that. How do you call it
a great film? I'm still trying to figure that out, bro.
I think it's a great film. I enjoyed it. I would watch it again. I would recommend it to watch it.
Can we just get to it? Because I'm not entertaining your bull, bro.
You watch it a fourth time.
Not today.
I've watched it 4 times. I've watched it 4 times.
With different people, like, or by yourself?
By myself.
You are
drunk.
Proper. You hear me? Proper.
Felix. Yo, people, it's a watch it from me. I think as you've heard, we've all unanimously agreed that the ending isn't great. However, I think there's enough in this movie, more than enough in this movie, especially with certain people's acting and a little bit of the story, not the ending. However, for me, it's 100% watch it.
For me, it's a do not watch this at all costs. And the only time you should ever watch a film like this is if you're happy to stop watching the film halfway through. Like, literally. If you're watch it before you go to bed, so you can fall asleep halfway through, drift off, and be like, I was watching this film. I don't know how it ended, but the first part was really good. If you're happy to do that, which I'm not, then go ahead and watch it. Otherwise, do not watch this unresolved thing called a movie.
Amber J, so not from me. It's too long.
It is a long movie, isn't it?
It sells you a
2.5 hours.
It had a lot of potential that it didn't meet. Acting was good, but other than that, yeah, it's a no from me, man.